Welcome to today's video. We are going to look into the overperformance and we are going to look into why we have such a big drive, right, to overdo it, to always be there for others, to always fulfill our duties, to always step into the overdrive, right? I mean, constantly showing power, constantly proving ourselves, right? Constantly trying to bring in value. Many people are doing that, by the way. And if you are kind of like, how come no one sees that I'm doing so much? Why am I always asked to do even more? Why is that, right? This actually needs already a lot of awareness. So hang on, we are going to clarify, hopefully a little bit for today. My name is Patricia, I'm a coach. And if you're new here, if we meet the first time, hello and welcome to my channel. I'm always happy to have new people on here because it actually means that many people are trying to find something better for themselves, and I'm happy to see that growing. Okay, and with this said, let's start today's video. So this video is designed to help you understand a little bit more why you actually try to perform, why you try to always be on the high delivery path, right? I mean, you kind of try to convince people, maybe even, that you're good enough. You try to show them your worth. You try to show them how much you bring on the table. And somehow it's not seen. And you're like, how come it's not seen what I'm doing? I'm doing so much, right? I bring so much in. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly showing up. I'm constantly blah, 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 right? You're doing all of that. But somehow it's not seen. And we try to do this over and over again. And we think that if we do more, even more, right? So we are already doing super much. But we are not seen. And then we try to compensate that because we don't feel, or we feel even less worth, right? That we are trying to do even more than that. And because we are doing more than that, we are burning out, we are stressed, we are overwhelmed. Not to say that we even start to get maybe panic attacks. Like I was a high performer in that, right? I started to really have issues sleeping at night, for example. I constantly was trying about, okay, what can I do next? What can I do? What can I do? This idea of doing was so present. It was so big. It was just really, really big. It was big present, right? And I started to see that that cannot be life. That cannot be it, right? It cannot be the truth why I'm here. It cannot be that I'm trying to please everyone else while I'm burning out, while there is not even this kind of recognition I was looking for. And see, there are many, it could be many aspects of why you're doing that, right? But when we look into how other people are doing and how they actually gain quite a lot of respect for how they're doing, what they're doing. And then you're like, compared to that one, I'm doing a lot. Like, I'm doing a lot. What is it that that person has, without any judgment, that I could maybe do too, right? So it's about observing, right? Like the first thing is you need to observe what is the difference, why, and don't come up with, well, because that person is more confident. See, confidence is a skill. it's learned. Confidence doesn't come just because you're born. It doesn't come that way. Confidence comes when you start to sit in situations that are very uncomfortable and you navigate through. And because of that, you're gaining confidence. Now, if you haven't really practiced that, and if you don't know how to do that, book a one-on-one. Hit me up, book a discovery call, and let's see what we can do for you, right? So you find the link below for something like this. It has nothing to do with confidence. It has nothing to do with their whole work style. Maybe their work style is compared to yours and your standards really bad, right? Really bad. And you're so confused. Like, this comes on top. And I want you to observe why they are in a position and you're not. A position that you would like to be, okay? A position that is maybe a little bit more calm, okay? Maybe you are very nervous too. Maybe you have very much issues controlling your emotions, navigating your emotions, because you're getting really fast upset, you're getting fast into the rage, into anger, and you don't know how to address that. By the way, that's a really good one to also come to a coaching with me if you want to learn and practice to get into a calmer state so that you are actually making smart decisions and not impulsive decisions, okay? So you gotta observe, and when you observe, you're looking into what does that person have, and how is that person interacting with people, and in general, what is the vibe, right? What is the energy that I can sense of that person, and what am I doing? Can I see the differences and start to compare? Start to see what is going on. It's very, very helpful, and it's very easy. It's painful, but it's not hard. It's hard to understand that someone who is doing so little and gets this much, and you're trying this much, and you get like this, and you're confused. I get it, but you're doing it the wrong way, right? And if you want to stop overdoing yourself, because you're not doing yourself a favor, we have to be very, very clear on that. You're not doing yourself a favor. And in addition, you're also not doing other people a favor, because you're not showing them exactly what you're here for to do. So instead of telling them that something doesn't work, or that you cannot do it, or find a solution how to get some help, or understand your support system, maybe that's the word, right? And if you are not able to communicate how that looks like, right? If you're not able to communicate how that looks like, we have a big issue, because it actually means that other people also don't know. You understand what I'm saying? It means if you don't know, they don't know, because you're not communicating and because you're not putting it on the table. You see, they may be happy with another solution too, but they haven't thought about another solution. They think you are the solution because until now you have done it. So how about finding a solution that works for you too, right? And because you're stepping into a very uncomfortable situation, you're gaining a kind of a momentum of, oh, I could do it like this other person. A very good one is as well, if you actually go to that person, and if it's a trustworthy person, a person who actually, likes to share and is not going around and telling everybody, and, someone who is enough confident. And don't get confused with someone who is really loud, someone who is performing really well. That's not really confidence, okay? Confidence means if you are in a place, in a calm place where you're making decisions that are smart, and it's not about I'm doing overperforming. I know my worth, and I know what I can and what I can't do. I'm getting help and support. I communicate that. I'm actually able to navigate through my emotions. I'm not pushing things onto you. Okay, this goes a bit further than just confidence, but it's about a person who is really, really functioning well in their inner world. Okay, because that is what it represents for me. Maybe for you it does something else. Okay, and that's fine too. So ask that person. So what do you do if you would be in a situation like me? And now here comes the tricky part. They would never be in a situation like you. Okay? So instead of asking that question, you may ask, like, what do you do to prevent situations like this? You see? Because when they haven't really gone through that, or when that was just not their path, and they haven't really felt insecure or I need to perform to be someone or whatsoever, they may have never been in your shoes. So you have to raise a question that they actually can't answer. And I find something like this is very helpful. What do you do so that you are getting acknowledged from other people? And the other way around is, what do you do to actually treat yourself the highest good, right? I mean, you gotta ask questions, and you gotta be open for those questions, right? You need to learn what you want to know. What is it that you really care for? And you ask for that, because people are more willing to share than you may think. They are willing to share, they want to share, and they are ready to help if you're reaching out to the right person, to the right people, right? And so I find that extremely helpful. Now, let's park this aside and say, like, okay, I have a little bit on what I could do differently. I also want you to understand the aspect of why you're doing that, right? I mean, first is, okay, I may do this because I haven't been able to change, but you started somewhere, right? You started at one point that this is the way how to do. You started somewhere to actually perform that way. Now, what is it that you ultimately want to get out of it? And why weren't you able to change it until now? There are quite common feelings, right? Or emotions. And one of them is that maybe when you were young, you didn't really receive the attention or the love from your parents. And because of that, you tried to perform, because when you performed, you may have gotten out of school system clapping on your back, hey, well done, or something like this. And you're still looking out for that returnment, maybe even, right? For that giving back. Hey, you're a good girl. You did really well. You're a good boy. You did really, really good. And you're still looking out for that. And the thing is, you didn't really reframe that whole thing for you because it worked until now. And see, we are always doing things because we feel that we are getting something out of it. So even if it's not good, quote unquote, right? Even if it's not good, we believe we are getting something out of it. And because of that, we are also not changing. It's a very, very important note for you that you're trying to get something out of it, even though it has never really worked. And you have to kind of find a way on how to give that to yourself. Okay, so if it is about love, about feeling seen, maybe, right? You have to start to see yourself, and you have to start to notice what you bring on the table. And maybe you're like now, yeah, but I'm already doing that. I'm like, do you feel it though? Do you experience it in your body? See, most people are not. They say they do, but they are not. They cannot even sit down and really feel into this because they're too nervous to experience this whole thing. And it's really scary, right? It's really scary. There is one person who told me, I prefer doing things that are active. And I was like, what about those things that are not so active, that are about being with yourself and getting into calmer waters? And that person was saying, like, I can't do it. Like, seriously, I can't. I can't do that. And I'm like, that's the problem. You gotta start where it's uncomfortable, and not thinking that it's not good for you because it feels uncomfortable. It's, you don't know, and that's why your body, or we have to almost say your ego, tries to somehow protect you, and it tries to be okay with the situation, but it's not about growth. It's not about you being happy. It's about surviving. And so if you want to stop that, you have to change the pattern. You have to make this work, right? I hope actually I have somehow put everything together that I was thinking of. Let me know down in the comments if there is anything open that you would like to hear from this topic. And let me also know if you go into this category and what has been the repeating pattern, and what do you think you're looking for. Start to really dig into those questions, because your body will eventually answer. And you see, you gotta work with your body. You gotta start doing this inner work if you want to actually move on. You need to start to feel into it. It's not a mind thing, really. It's, the mind is here to question, right? I like that. It's here to question. But you need to feel the pain that you get out of the situation, or that you are having in that situation. That's better. You need to feel it before you can let it go. That's also something that I train my coaches on. So once again, if you're looking for a one-on-one, then hit me up, book a discovery call, and let's go from there. Meanwhile, you can subscribe to this video or to this channel, and so you're getting weekly updates. And you see, with this, you are already in a good position to move and to start something that helps you to navigate a little bit more smooth, okay? All right, with this said, thanks so much, and I see you another time, okay? Bye-bye, it was a pleasure. Bye.